discovered that he took $195,000 of metal. And he brought it here. 75 buffaloes, 10 Liberty Eagles, 10 Maple Leafs.
How do you know you came here?
Because he told me.
That's the picture?
Huh?
That's the picture?
Yep.
I swear to God, I've never seen you. Can I take a picture and send it to my place? Yeah, that's the same person.
Well, that was bizarre and quite a way to start a Monday. I walked in here just now, like just opened up and that guy was like waiting for me. What I've come to learn, anybody who comes in here with a clipboard is bad news. Anybody who's got a clipboard, it's always some kind of an inspector or somebody trying to rile my shit up. Okay, so here's what's going on with that. So I wasn't full of shit. He actually had the wrong store. I think that kid was in here while I was on vacation because my employee called me and told me about the situation. And he's like, there's a young kid who's looking to move a bunch of silver, but he's having like issues with his dad. And I was like, oh, fucking hell no, we don't want to buy that. I knew right away that that was not the shop, that I was not the shop, that he was in the wrong place when he said, you paid him 30 cents on the dollar. No, I didn't. And I could say I didn't because I would fucking remember paying someone 30 cents on the dollar. I'd be doing a backflip if I could do that. I can't do that. Like, I don't do that. I don't think I've ever paid somebody 30 cents on the dollar for silver bullion. I wish I could, but no. So he obviously wrong place, and he just in his head assumed that there's only one gold shop in St. Louis Park. It's like, motherfucker, there's 5. The reality is what's gonna probably happen with this guy, I feel for him, he's probably SOL because he has the burden of proving when exactly his son stole his silver, what time it occurred. He needs evidence of him doing the crime itself, like some kind of evidence. It can't just be hearsay, because you know, I'm thinking I could go to a gold shop and say that the last person who came and sold stuff, like I could camp out of a gold shop, wait for a young person to go in, and then I could go in and say, I'm a relative and that's my stolen shit. You know, that guy could have been completely pulling it out of his ass for all I know. I don't think so, because he looked like he wanted to punch me. But yeah, that guy is probably screwed, is what's gonna end up happening. And like, he can get the police involved, but again, unless he can specifically prove what day it happened, and my cameras don't go back 3 months, so if it happened 3 months ago, especially, it's gonna be hard. He's gotta have receipts. The burden of proof is on him, and it sounded to me like he didn't have any proof at all, so. Bummer. What a way to start the day. Being accused of theft.
Standing over his canal here.
Oh, this one's plated.
Well, not according to the stamp on the back.
Where's the stamp?
One end, I think.
Oh, look at that. It's sterling right there.
But you're right, it feels like.
It feels like. I'm gonna throw some acid on it if you don't mind.
Okay, not at all.
Oh, it's sterling. Yeah. Feels funny.
And then this little guy.
That one's sterling, I can tell.
Some silver, some salt shakers. That's it.
Yeah, it's sterling, all right. It is sterling. It just feels kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe like a newer production or something.
No, it's probably pretty old.
How old do you think it is?
The youngest it is the 60s. It's probably more like the 50s.
That's new to me. And what else?
That's it.
That's it? All right. Looks like we have 1,704.9 grams.
1,704.
1704.9 divided by 31.1. 54.8 times 15, gonna be $822.
All right.
Make it 825. 825.
Okay, great. Could I
Thank
get
you.
a piece of paper with
Yeah,
me?
I'm gonna write your receipt right
Okay.
now. So if I sold that right now, I make $160. But I'm gonna ride, this is gonna go get locked up because I have a bunch of scrap I'm building up. So you can tell, you know, we've done this a million times. If it says sterling, it probably is, but all you gotta do is throw a little 14 karat nitric acid on it. And if it doesn't react, it doesn't turn green, it's got this like weird pale kind of cum color. Use what you know for references. Then it's sterling. So yeah, nice. This, you guys, is one of the best buys I probably ever made in my career. This artist is very well known. This was purchased on eBay. The person had a midnight listing, so it ended at a queer time, so I had like nobody bidding against me. I paid $120 for this original oil painting. This painting was done by Francois de Grovelet? Francois de Brolet. Like, some of his other stuff is going for way more. Okay, I can't seem to find it. There's a whole Google page I found. It was all about him. This guy is a very well-known artist. He painted the vice president's portrait in the 1930s. And just stumbling around on eBay, I found this. And there's nobody bidding on it. So opening bid was $100, and I bid. Nobody else bid, and it was $20 shipping. So I got this thing for like $120, and it's original oil painting. Like this is worth many times that. So I'm excited about that. Also, I don't know if I've ever shown this off. This is an original Dahlgren. Dahlgren is he's in the Smithsonian. This is probably worth $2,000-$3,000. I paid $100 for this. Now I don't do art. I'm not 100% sure this is original. I think it is. I don't know. I just like the theme. This happened earlier today. This is like what happens when somebody is walking out my door and we don't do a deal, and I wanted what they had because this guy had so many expensive coins, and I offered him $3,300, and he walked. Yeah, total bummer. That's basically what happened this morning. And he didn't walk because he didn't like my offer. He walked because it's an estate and he's splitting it with his brother. I sat here and worked with the guy for a fucking hour, and he called up his brother, and his brother's like, no, I don't want to sell any of it. We're gonna keep it. So it's like, well, then why did you come here at all? It sounds like your brother didn't want to sell it in the first place. Okay. I make $6 an hour.
Okay. And some Beanie Babies. You did you?
Beanie Babies are worthless.
Oh, they are.
I hate to say it. Yeah, these I think these are knockoffs. Oh, that's funny. It's like the worst Beanie Baby knockoffs I've ever seen. It's called Bambinos. Just see the body. I ain't got time to bleed.
Good governor.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. Magic Johnson, champion of the cause, King Kong. You can spend all these.
Okay.
Yeah, these are, believe it or not, they make a lot of $2 bills still.
They do?
They still do. You don't see them, they're like novelty items, but you just spend those. I would be at like $50 for all this stuff.
Okay.
Thanks for coming by.
Okay, and tell me what else do you do?
My bread and butter is coins, currency, and jewelry.
Okay.
But I'll do collectibles. I usually don't do this kind of stuff, but why not? Okay, so aftermath of this deal, there's $60 right here. So I'm already profiting just on these. Everything else, pure profit. Not a lot. I mean, I bet I'm gonna make $20-$30 in this deal. Okay, but something interesting happened. So apparently this sheet called again like 20 minutes after walking out of here, and I guess looked this up on eBay, and somebody's got one of these on eBay for like $300 or something. So she's pissed because she thinks that I screwed her, and I took one look at that and I just threw out an offer because like I didn't know that was worth that, like just looking at it, and I actually don't believe that price. I was like, well, look, anybody can put anything on eBay for any price they want. Case in point, I put some of my shitty art on eBay for $1,000. It's not worth $1,000, but I threw it on there for fun. I could put anything at any price on eBay. That doesn't mean that that's the price. I tell people to go onto eBay and check that for a live idea of prices, like a realistic idea. Check the sold section on eBay. See what stuff actually sold for, not what people are asking for. There's a big difference. So she called here. She's like really pissed. She thinks I screwed her, and I'm just like, look, you can have it back. Okay, just take it back. I never do this for anyone else. I will literally never do this again. This is the only time I'm gonna do this. But I said, look, you can come and you can take it back. She goes, well, how much more money am I gonna get back? You're not gonna get anything back. I'm gonna just give this back to you. But fuck. So I mean, I'm still making money in this deal. That is the one time and the only time I'm ever gonna do that with a deal. Just because of how pissed she was. And like, honestly, I think that's worth $10 because I saw other ones 10 to 20, the box is beat up. Like, I think she's just being an idiot, but like, fine, just take it, keep it. I want to see you back in here again. I just don't want this to happen again. Yeah. Well, I've come to kind of a big decision this morning. My first day of being 33, I woke up this morning and I thought, I have a bunch of Pokemon cards that aren't doing me any favors, and it's worth at least 10 grand. So I'm going to sell them. You guys might remember I was gonna sell them, God, almost 2 years ago. The auction house that I sent them to completely shit the bed. Like, just absolutely tanked the sale. It was a total flop, so I got almost everything back. Yeah, it's just been sitting in my closet and it's not doing me any good. I have some valuable cards. What sucks is I'm really nostalgic toward these. I do look at them a lot. Like, I'll go in my room and, just appreciate the art. I love them. I think they're really cool. I have mostly Japanese ones, but I want a house. And there's plenty of money here that I can just liquidate. And I've had them for a long time and it's time to let them go. So certainly it's not going to be any easy task. I think this one's probably my most expensive. This one's worth about $1,000. It unfortunately did not grade very high. It scored a 6. If this was an 8, this would be like $3,000, but alas. It's kind of like with coins, the score really matters. 1 point can make a huge difference. So I'm just going through like part of my collection here. Median price on these cards is like anywhere from $10 to $50. There's some that are a couple hundred. I got to go through it. And this is a tiny fraction of what I have. This was what I was comfortable bringing in my backpack on my scooter today. So if you guys are interested in my Pokemon cards, check them out. They're on my eBay. I can gladly pull them off and sell them a la carte, or I can sell the whole collection if you're interested. Let me know. I'd like to not list them and then sit on them for 2 years. I'd like to just sell them. What's going on, you guys? We're Between the Pawn. I'm Evan, and this is my gold and silver business, rocking another Zeon shirt. If you guys are wondering what all the Zeon stuff is about, it's my favorite anime. It's like hugely important to me, childhood nostalgia. And the Zeon, although they're the bad guys in Mobile Suit Gundam, their ethos and the fact that like they're all about never giving up. That's why I like them and respect them so much, and like why their characters I think are just so cool. So that's why I'm making Zeon like kind of my like nerd thing that I'm gonna be rocking. You're gonna be seeing me wearing a lot of Zeon stuff. Somebody at a bar said to me, "Why are you wearing something that's Nazi adjacent?" And I'm like, "Nazi? It's from an anime." And then he's like kind of like walking me through how the Zeon are modeled after the Nazis. I'm like, what? Yeah, okay, party pooper, but not really. So that's with all the Zeon stuff. Couple of announcements before we get into the questions. I am doing sponsorship for episodes of Pawn Man. It's going well, you guys. It's $225 an episode currently. I have sold out episode 54. I am seeking a sponsor for episode 55. If you guys are interested in a sponsorship, I'm trying to make it so that it's just one sponsor for an episode because it's just kind of a pain in the ass to be like, and now this person, and now this person, and now this person. So $225 for episodes of Pawn Man. I'm doing Between the Pawn, $150 if you want to sponsor a Between the Pawn. It's a much more discounted rate. The episodes, the Between the Pawns are not as long. They don't get as many views as episodes of Pawn Man. So let me know if you would like to become a Pawn Man sponsor. I am also selling social media consultations. I will give you, it's $100 for 15 minutes. I haven't really figured out a rate yet. I have a couple people that have expressed interest. Yes, that seems high. I guarantee you for $100, that'll be worth it. I can give you ideas, things that you're not doing on social media that will have a massive positive impact on your business. I like to think it is certainly worth $100, especially given my track record of success. And like a year ago, the Pawn Leaders, they have their own podcast. It's like its own social media thing. I gave a lecture for free to maybe 40 pawnbrokers last year. And like, yeah, I mean, I could hear all the notepads being scribbled on by all these people. They were just like watching me like I was God when I was just telling them like, do this, do this, do that. I bet none of you guys are doing this stuff. And sure enough, most of them weren't. So let me know if you would like a social media consultation. I'm also selling sponsorship on the leaderboard here, $20. I will put your business card on my leaderboard, and that's where it'll stay. Just $20, flat fee. If the views continue to go up, the price is gonna change, so get in now because it's only gonna get more expensive as my audience grows, and it is starting to grow a lot. I was digging up comments for the questions here, and it's getting to the point I can't even keep up now on YouTube with all the comments, so hooray! I want to thank everybody who joined my Patreon for my birthday. There weren't that many of you guys, but there were some of you, and I really appreciate it, especially everybody who sent me, like, I don't like getting gifts, you guys. Like, I'm very uncomfortable with that, but for my birthday, I guess that's okay. So a couple of you guys sent me some really cool gifts. My researcher Mithy sent me a Gundam model, which I'm looking forward to building on a rainy day, whenever the fuck I have time. One of my followers bought me lunch, which I'm gonna be enjoying tomorrow. Thank you, Sean, for ordering me pizza. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, thank you guys for being nice to me on my birthday. It was okay. I didn't really do anything. I was gonna rent a sports car and all the shit I was gonna do is I was gonna try and do like a special Between the Pawn video, but I didn't want to deal with making a video on my birthday because it's like I wanted to have fun and like not stress out. And all the shit got fucked up. Like I was gonna go to Mall of America and ride rides, and because of monkeypox, I'm a little worried about that. And like I didn't want to light a bunch of money on fire. It was a nice day, and thank you guys for your birthday wishes. Last thing I want to talk about before I get into the questions, I had some of you guys making comments like this, wondering why I didn't eviscerate that person, that Instagram dealer who fucked me over for the gold coin. There's a reason for it. The reason is, 2 years ago, I got a taste for what an angry torch-wielding social media mob looks like, and it's not pretty. Those of you that don't know that are new to my channel, 2 years ago when I worked for the old man, we had a little saga called Evan versus Karen. I'm surprised that didn't make national news. This crazy crazy conspiracy theorist came in and she was only in the old man's store to pick a fight about masks. And I was like, look, it's private property. We're enforcing them here. She throws a fit. She screams, there is no COVID. It's a government hoax. And she storms out. Well, that was interesting. And I saved the camera footage because it was so unhinged. She literally was only in there to start a fight about masks. She wasn't in there to do any business. She was just being like a crazy bitch. So about a month goes by. I forget about it. And then I noticed on Yelp that the old man's store had a bad review. And it was this like crazy discombobulated review that ended with, it was accusing us of throwing out a disabled person because of masks. And the way it was worded, this lady came in threatening a $50,000 ADA violation. It was like some of the first words out of her mouth. And then she produced this like ridiculous exemption that she clearly made herself. So like I knew this is who it was. And again, long story short, I was like, you're gonna come and fake a disability incident and take a steaming shit on the business that I'm trying to buy over masks, over private policy and private property. Fuck off. So I found her using my social media audience and I rocked her shit something fierce. She is still digging out from the rubble from what I did. I got her fired from everything. Turned out she was on the Minnesota Autism Council. So it's like, wait. You're representing people with autism and you're faking disabilities? Have you no shame? And then I discovered this woman was actually like kind of like a Harvey Weinstein type character. I unearthed that she had this track record of like racism and bullying, and like there were people that had resigned from the Minnesota Autism Council because of her just being such a pain in the ass. Like I basically found like a Harvey Weinstein type character in the wild, and I went to town on her and destroyed her. And like I said, 2 years later, I know for a fact because I purchased a White Pages like thing on her where, you know, it gives me all the info about her, and it still gives me info about her. And I like, according to what I get from White Pages, her life got like permanently fucked up from that. I don't feel bad about that because she's a terrible person. So just getting a taste for what that kind of power looks like, and I have a much larger audience now than I did 2 years ago, much. So if I were to publish that person's name, I would fuck his shit up something fierce. And just that little benefit of the doubt that I was gonna give him, because again, I don't know if indeed he is having hardships with his family or if he fucked me. I just don't know. The waters were too muddy and I didn't feel right about throwing a nuclear bomb over that. I permanently blocked him and I told him off, but I don't want to publish his name. I didn't feel right about that. With great power comes great responsibility. So hopefully that clarifies things. All right, let's get into the questions. Question 1 coming in from Nathan Wilkins. Nathan says, when someone comes into your shop to sell mass amounts of silver, is it usually the person that bought it originally? Or are they like grandchildren or children selling it off when the original owners die? Well, I haven't been in business long enough to really give you much of a track record on that. It's a mix. You know, it's really kind of all over the board. I'll tell you, the one thing that does puzzle me, and this does happen a lot, people will sell me stuff and they're losing money on it, and they're telling me about how much money they need and how broke they are. And as I'm paying them out, they're like, actually, how much is that? I want to buy that. It's like, ugh, but did you forget why you're in here? So that always puzzles me. Okay, question 2. Question 2 coming in from Tony Harder. Tony says, Starbucks, Caribou, Dunn Brothers, or something else. What's your coffee brand of choice and how do you like it? I drink coffee black, like a serial killer. I like going to Starbucks. I don't really care between Starbucks and Caribou. It's black coffee. It's usually pretty good. I like organic, like nice coffee, but I drink my coffee black. We usually get organic brands for the coffee machine we have here. I go to Starbucks sometimes. I kind of can't justify the money that I waste on it. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. I will say that, or at least the store I bought it. Okay, question 3 coming from Kyle Smith. Kyle says, just curious, do you check the backs of all artwork? I've found money on one before, and I know other people have as well. Actually, yeah, so the dumpster that's right out here, I dumpster dive at least once a week. I go out there, I look, I see, because we're right behind an old folks home, and they drop like flies. So a lot of times, it'll be, the kids will just dump their shit in the dumpster, and there's some pretty decent stuff sometimes. Not like expensive stuff, but if I pay $0 for it and I get 20 bucks for it, well, that's okay by me. So sometimes there's hideous artwork and I always like either slit it open, or if it's in a glass frame and I can't slit it open, I smash it open, but I always check. I've yet to find anything. One of these days though, I know I'm gonna find something really expensive. And it'll either be somebody sells me a deal and it's like just a giant deal, and I'll be going through all the like little knick-knack parts where I'll just make a pile and say, give you X for that, okay, and I'll be going through it later, and I bet I'll find a gold coin or something. Hasn't happened yet, though. Question 4, coming in from Misha Greyheart, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, says, question, I like costume jewelry because I can wear it and not care. Is there some tips for finding some more quality pieces? Just call them eBay. You guys can find treasures on eBay. I find great stuff on eBay all the time. Look for auctions that are poorly timed. People who time their auctions to end at midnight are idiots, and you can get some great buys. Or just comb flea markets, secondhand places, but don't buy it brand new. Costume jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, precious metal jewelry, do not buy it brand new. Buy it secondhand. There's no reason that you need new jewelry. Like, it's just straight up a waste of money. Question 5. Question 5 coming in from Steesky. Steesky says, what's the best way to buy bulk silver from you? What is the best way to contact me? I like it when people contact me on social media. It's the easiest way to get a hold of me, either on Instagram or now Facebook. Just message me. I don't like going back and forth on the phone because, number one, it distracts me. I have to deal with this person on the phone when it's a lot easier and quicker to just type via communication. It's a lot easier to communicate via typing. It's more 21st century, and on top of that, when I'm on the phone, like with somebody, then I got people walking in here, I got too many things going on. So just you can call my store, but I recommend just messaging me on Instagram or Facebook. Easiest way to get in contact with me. I borderline don't like people emailing me, because I get so many fucking emails a day. I don't even like it when my mother emails me. And it's like actually the only way that she really communicates with me, because she gets the phone. As far as bulk silver goes, look, get a good deal when you can. And see what APMEX is charging. Whatever APMEX is charging is probably what I'm charging. But you cannot get it for cheaper than what the big box stores are charging. And yes, silver might be one price and the premium above silver is high. But the fact is, I can't get silver for spot, and I'm a dealer. I can't. It's like not possible. When people walk in here and I say, what do you want for your stuff? And they say, well, spot's this price, so how's spot? I do a backflip, because it's like, God, you're uneducated. The other thing I don't like is like, if you make a stink about the premium, you obviously are uneducated with what's going on with the markets, and you should do some more education before you put your money in something. Like Warren Buffett says, don't invest in something you don't understand. Buying bulk silver is the best way to get the best price. If you buy a 1,000-ounce bar of silver, I can get you a great price on it. The only problem with that, it's a 70-pound bar that is gonna be massively inconvenient to haul around if you need to. But yeah, you can do any kind of bulk sale from me. Largest bullion deal I've done is $50,000 in my career on my own. Question 6, we got 2 more. Question 6 coming in from Benjamin Madsen. Benjamin says, non-pawn related questions. What are your favorite colors? Also, you guys, I'd like some more non-pawn related questions. That's fun too, because I feel like I just answer the same question, but phrase it differently. I like the color green. This is the color of life and weed and money and weed. I like most colors. I like red, I like black. If I'm gonna get a car, again, I'll probably either get a black car or a silver car. The only color I don't like is yellow. Okay, final question, and it's like part 1 and 2 are like, I'm gonna read both of these in conjunction because I'm gonna answer the question dealing with both of them. So, question 7, coming in from, Tickle Monster, okay. Sorry, I just can't unsee that, now I think it's funny. So it's gonna stick. Tickle Monster, her part of the question says, what occurred to make you leave the old shop? Tickle Monster, I feel like you've been following me for a while, so I'm surprised you're asking. Maybe you're just, you know how much I like to talk about it. And then the other part of this question coming from Josh Vanover, you said your dad was friends with the old man. How did that affect their relationship with you stepping out on your own? So I met him. This all happened because my dad used to do business with him a lot. He was the guy that my dad would go to buy gold and sell gold. And when my parents lost their asses in 08 and were going broke, my dad brought all of my family heirloom gold jewelry, gave it to the old man, and got a loan. And the old man held on it for years. And when my dad had the money, paid him back, and the old man didn't even charge him interest. The old man was very good to my dad and was good to me for a while. So when I was told that he was looking for a young person, I was like, crazy guy with the taxidermy? The gold guy? What? And then lo and behold, I ended up, working for him, and here I am now. So long story short, because there's a whole video you guys could watch. It's called Why I Quit. I made social media Pawn Man. I made that to boost sales for them because the pandemic scared the shit out of me. Had I not digitized their store, I started working for them in the summer of 2019, and the eBay saved them from COVID. They for sure would have lost their business without the success of eBay and the fact that I had been working for them for 9 months. And you guys should have seen that store when I started working there. It was like a hoarder's wet dream. There's so much stuff that he'd just been sitting on forever, and I just piece by piece went through, liquidated it, and sold it, and loosened up a lot of cash that was tied up. So when COVID hit, we had a passable source of income. That business was okay. We had digitized and averted a crisis, but I thought, well shit, now we're eating out of eBay's hands. What happens if eBay goes like that? Or what happens if something else? We need to think outside the box here, and social media is the answer. So I created Pawn Man for that reason, for them, to help them
to boost sales and just create this whole new thing. Now, what I didn't count on was how goddamn popular and big it would get. And again, long story short, the old man had a girlfriend that inhabited that place like a ghost. She was there every day. She literally didn't do anything. She had no idea how to buy gold or silver. She was the accountant, but really she just occupied the best real estate in that office and just would sit and complain and shop on eBay, come and go as she pleased, get us lunch. I swear to God, she probably spit on my food. I shudder to think about that. I stopped eating lunch there about a month out when things were starting to get, well, a month out from when I quit, when I could kind of see the writing on the wall what was going to happen. She was jealous of my relationship with him because he was treating me like a son. And it was really silly because it's like, God damn, I just want to do right by both of you guys. And she wanted me to shut down Pawn Man. She wanted the whole social media thing scrapped in the trash. And it was like, I've caught lightning in a bottle here. You don't, boomer. You don't understand what you're scorning here. This is so foolish, and I'm just not gonna do it. Bottom line, I'm gonna take the success and run with it. If you're not gonna know a good thing when it's staring you right in the face, then sorry. So that's why I left, was because they wanted me to shut down Pawn Man, and they basically were trying to force me to buy their business. And they rescued me from poverty. 18 months before working for them, I was so broke I didn't have a car. I didn't have $5,000 to my name. That I was that poor. And 18 months later, they suddenly want me to buy the business, and they're like shaking me down for $250,000. It's like, where the fuck do you think I'm gonna get this money? Like, what? It was just such a massive slap in the face, and they kept changing the terms too. The first arrangement was $250,000 for the business with all the inventory and like all the old man shit, and I was down to do that. But then it turned into $150K just for the name. That's it. And it's like, how about for half that price, not even, I open up my own store and fuck your name. And they laughed me out the door, and I was open for business here literally not even 4 weeks later. As far as my relationship, or my father's relationship with the old man, I mean, that's dead, but I have no contact with them. I will never speak to them ever again. They massively screwed up by letting me walk out. If you guys can't tell, I'm still pretty spiteful about it, even though it worked out so well for me. Like, if I had to do the whole thing over again, I don't think I would have done anything differently. We have no contact with them anymore. On top of that, that crazy bitch was accusing me of stealing months and months and months after I quit, and I never stole anything from them. I'm the one who installed security cameras in their business. Like, part of what was driving me nuts was she was accusing me of stealing constantly for like my entire tenure working there. She had nothing to go on. She just wanted to rock the boat with me. Well, all's well that ends well with that. But with that, you guys, that'll do it for this Between the Pawn. If you guys like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that notification button so you guys know when new episodes of Pawn Man and Between the Pawn are coming out. Follow me on social media at Pawn Man, at Evan Kale. Get my books on Amazon. Please become a Patreon. If you guys like what you see here, I mean, like, you don't have to give me money, but $1 a month, seriously, $1 a month helps. It adds up a lot. The social media has finally turned a corner with generating revenue just because my YouTube is finally growing so much, but I can still use Patreon help. So please, you guys, anything you can give helps a ton. Post your comments in the question section below so I got more stuff to answer on the next Between the Pawn, and I'll see you guys back here for another Between the Pawn. See you, Xeon. Later, guys.